Scientists spent 60 years and still couldn't figure out what this thing is. It has eyes, but the eyes grow on two antennae. It has a mouth, but the mouth sits at the very tip of a tube, like a vacuum cleaner with teeth. 200 million years ago, it drifted through the seafloor like this, looking like a failed alien experiment dumped on Earth. But the strangest part is, it can only be found in one place on Earth, Illinois, United States. A muddy pit called Mason Creek. That makes no sense. If it really existed, why is there not a single fossil anywhere else on Earth? Even more disturbing, scientists tested its DNA, and no animal phylum could contain it. It's not a fish, not a worm, and not a mollusk. It's like someone photoshopped it onto the evolutionary tree. Some say it's the ancestor of octopuses. Others say it's an early branch of vertebrates. They argued for decades. In 2016, scientists finally gave an answer. But the answer was even more unsettling, because its body structure hinted at a possibility that Earth once hosted a completely different biological system unlike any life today. And the Tully Monster might be the only remaining evidence of that system. An amateur fossil hunter pried open a rock in an abandoned coal mine, and when he saw what was inside, he froze for 3 seconds. A 30-centimeter long black imprint lay in the center of the rock. The shape made him think he had found the remains of an alien organism. He carried the fossil to the Field Museum in Chicago. The paleontologist stared at it for 5 minutes, without saying a word. Not excitement, but total brain shutdown. You have to understand, for professionals, identifying fossils is like a doctor reading an X-ray. They see the problem instantly, but this thing was different. It was like a machine with a Ferrari engine, running on bicycle tires. You had no idea where to even begin. Museum experts studied it for 10 years, and no one dared assign it a category. In the end, scientists raised the white flag and called it the Tully Monster. A monster, a rare surrender in the history of science. Calling a life form a monster is openly admitting you don't understand it. And what's more disturbing is not how strange it looks, but that every single part, taken alone, could tear biology textbooks apart. Its eyes aren't on its face, but on two rigid lateral stalks, jutting straight out, like light bulbs hanging from a barbell. This visual layout suggests 360-degree vision with no blind spots. Any predator trying to ambush it would look like slow-motion playback. Yale University magnified it 1,000 times and found 2 types of melanosomes in the retina, round and elongated, arranged neatly like bricks. A structure found only in vertebrates, chemically identical to human eyes, and its mouth is even more terrifying. A long, slender proboscis extends from its head, like a tough drinking straw, ending in a claw lined with 80 sharp teeth. This structure is unique in biology. It doesn't need to approach its prey. It just swings it like a robotic arm and precisely stabs into the soft underbelly. Imagine this, a straw with teeth lunging at your neck, followed by 2 floating eyes. Doesn't it feel like the world glitched? After tormenting scientists for half a century, a Yale research team used synchrotron scans on over 100 fossils and found a thin white line in the body. They announced in Nature that this thing had a notochord. It was a vertebrate, an ancient relative of lampreys. The paleontology world exploded. This meant humans once had something this alien in our lineage. 300 million years ago. But as soon as the conclusion was published, the University of Tokyo challenged it. They brought micron-level E laser scanners, scanned 153 fossils, and rebuilt the 3D structure. They found the Tully Monster's body was segmented from head to tail, including the section in front of the eyes. But vertebrate heads are never segmented. That's a hard rule. Structures once thought to prove vertebrate status were exposed as false clues. The trilobe brain was just compression folds. Gill pouches were side indentations. The notochord couldn't be clearly identified. The Japanese team published a paper with a blunt title, "Three-Dimensional Anatomical Evidence Rejects the Vertebrate Identity of the Tully Monster." The academic world fell silent. We were back at square one, still not knowing what it is. But the problem was worse. Those vertebrate-only features, like complex eyes and efficient hunting organs, clearly exist. It's not a vertebrate. Yet it wears vertebrate hardware, like a tractor fitted with a Ferrari engine, driven by bicycle chains, and somehow still outrunning cars. Even more unbelievable, this chimera lived 300 million years ago in seas with extreme death rates, yet thrived. The Mason Creek waters it lived in were deadly shallow estuaries, where 90% of organisms died suddenly. Scientists suspect frequent toxic algal blooms, causing instant oxygen loss and mass suffocation. Yet in this hellish environment, Tully Monster fossils rank in the top 3, with over 35,000 found, showing it thrived exceptionally well. With a soft, floppy body, it should have been wiped out in the first anoxic event, yet it became a permanent resident. And the strangest part, among all these fossils, not a single juvenile, not a single egg. What does that mean? It may not have had a juvenile stage, or its reproductive method is beyond our imagination. To this day, paleontologists worldwide still argue endlessly. The vertebrate camp says 200 fossils showed notochord traces. The opposing camp says those are gut impressions. Supporters say they found gill pouches. Opponents say they're just folds. The two sides fought in top journals for nearly 10 years. The most ironic part, Illinois declared it the state fossil because it is unique. That uniqueness is so extreme it has no place on Earth's tree of life. Decades have passed, and we still argue what it is. Scientists can only be sure of 2 things. First, it is an Earth organism. Isotopes prove it ate the same food as other life at the time. Second, it plays by no rules. Every organ combination challenges our understanding of evolution. What does the Tully Monster tell us? Evolution is not a ladder from low to high, but a chaotic arms race. Some upgrade slowly by the rules, others cheat and skip every step. The Tully Monster is the most outrageous cheater, using an invertebrate chassis with vertebrate-level sensory systems, dominating the Carboniferous seas. Those barba-like eyes, that tooth-filled straw, that soft, unclassifiable body, over 300 million years, were flattened into black imprints, lying silently in Illinois mudstone, coldly watching us, the latecomers, as if asking one question: do you really think you understand this world? Evolution never had a script, no preset, no so-called correct direction. Only survival itself is the ultimate truth. And the Tully Monster, this alien that baffled scientists for 70 years, proved one thing through its bizarre existence: there will always be things in the universe we cannot understand.